We do want to jump back into this press conference that's happening right now with the public information officer at the scene of this RV that went into a Winchell's Donuts.
So we know when and if we can talk to the driver, we kind of know what to ask and where to go from there.
I apologize if you already said this. Did you say anybody inside the shop who was one of the patrons at the time? Any injuries there?
Yes, everybody who was inside the restaurant at the time, from what I'm understanding, were injured, but to what extent we don't know. And with that being said, I've been told that none of them are life-threatening injuries.
How does this get resolved today? I mean, that looks like extensive damage.
It does. The city of Lakewood building inspectors have already been here and deemed it inhabitable. And they've tagged it and done their process to do that. So right now we're in the process of doing our traffic investigation, the crash investigation. At that point, our tow company will show up. West Metro Fire is going to stay on scene and help with when the motorhome or the RV is pulled out to make sure the building, whatever happens, and we have them here for support in that respect. So we're looking at a process right now, completing our investigation, doing the diagramming, the scanning, the photos, and then we will work on removal of the RV. And then after that becomes what do we do with the building, and that's when West Metro building inspectors will do more of their side of this.
And I apologize, I'm just asking for a little bit of clarity with those injuries there because so many different people were involved. We had 4 people inside the RV, an unknown amount of patrons inside the shop. How many people total were injured? We know that West Metro Fire saying 2 people taken to the hospital.
And that's the numbers, Jordan, I'm still working on. Okay. Just because, like I said, there was a little confusion when we all got here at first of people that were in the motorhome versus people that were patrons in the restaurant, and trying to identify who is where in this crash.
At this time, though, 2 people taken to the hospital. We just don't know if they were in the RV or in the shop.
Correct, right. And if there were more taken to the hospital, West Metro, obviously with their response, I have not got with their division chief yet to kind of pinpoint those. The part that is encouraging is right now we were told nobody has life-threatening injuries. But I just don't know to what extent the injuries were leading up to that.
And how many other people were actually?
Correct. Yeah, we're still pinpointing the exact number of involved people here.
One more question about speed. Do you think that there was speed involved in this, or do you think that there was a undulation in the traffic area that may have caused this?
Right now, from the preliminary videos that we've looked at, speed doesn't seem to be a concern, with the exception of it's an RV. That an RV doing the speed limit turning is probably a little different than our SUVs, our sedans and stuff doing the speed limit, making a turn. That's a little bit we want to look at, but right now we don't have anything that's rising to the reckless level, that there's any intent or any thoughts of the reckless part. And like I said, that's just going from the preliminary videos that we've seen. It looks more like the driver of the RV lost control while making that left turn from Pierce to Colfax. And then at that point, it's a ride right to the impact of the business.
Can you tell me how crucial these traffic halo cameras are in investigating this whole thing?
Oh, very crucial. They're truly an independent witness to this whole event. This crash and any other crash, that we have here in our different locations. It's very beneficial in giving us a true picture of what took place.
And can you speak to I know the collapse rescue teams, I know they're with West Metro, but can you speak, I guess, you said you're going to be out here for a couple hours, but the building is uninhabitable, you mentioned. How long could that repair take, do you know?
Well, right now, West Metro is doing a great job of shoring it up and making it as safe as they can so that we can get in there and get that RV pulled out. And then it's a matter of looking at the big picture of the extent of damage. And that's where the building inspectors will go back in and look at it and kind of go from there. When the RV gets pulled out, as far as the police department goes, that's where, I'm not a building inspector, so we leave it to them and those professionals. Like I said, West Metro's doing a great job right now, one, to get all those people out safely. There were no firemen, no police, injured in all this. We had a great response from both agencies for this. And that's where right now it's stabilized. And so now we can slow down and kind of do that process of get what we need for the investigation, get the RV removed, and then we can worry about, the structural integrity of the business. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, you said there was no reckless driving, you believe. Do you feel like there have been any charges possible?
Right now charges are not even being considered. We want to be able to kind of sort out and make sure we know what took place, given the cameras and interviews with witnesses and all that. So that's something that down the road we can certainly look at. From the preliminary views that we're seeing on the cameras and some of the first initial witness statements, right now the RV lost control while making that left turn. And to me, that kind of falls into the careless statute. For whatever reason this driver lost control is what we'd really like to know.
And just one more question about the injuries. You know, the 2 people were taken to the hospital. What about everybody else? Where were they taken? It doesn't look like they're on scene right now.
That I don't know. I don't know if they set up different hospitals, and took them there. That I honestly don't know.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You bet. Oh, you bet. Alrighty.
You're really good at this.
All right, so we've been listening into what went on with the RV that crashed into the Winchell Donuts. Sounds like 2 people transported to the hospital, non-life-threatening injuries. It also sounds like the RV might have lost control taking a left onto that, and they're still investigating into what happened exactly before. The big thing, the RV removal, and then what's going to happen to the structure.
Right.
That
You
donut
can
shop.
see why they deemed it uninhabitable once they pull it out. I mean, that building looks like it has been crushed. And again, they're looking into whether speed was maybe a factor in terms of it being an RV going too fast in this area. They'll probably look into if there were any medical issues, but we did see 2 people wheeled out on gurneys. Considering the time of day and it was a donut shop, it's surprising there wasn't more people inside, so that is a good thing. And it doesn't sound like the injuries are life-threatening from what he was describing, so that is good as well. But obviously a huge investigation going forward.
Yeah, so we'll be stay tuned for that. We'll also have live reports from Jordan as well.